What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is the Blacklist Season 9, Episode 21, Marvin Gerard Conclusion, Part 1. So it's kind of funny because I didn't even think about the fact that, we have had an episode titled Marvin Gerard in the past. So this is technically the conclusion that we've seen with other Blacklisters. I will say, just off the bat, because this thought did occur to me about halfway through the episode, there's a chance that it probably seemed like I knew Gerard was behind it because of this episode. Because, yeah, if I had looked ahead and seen that Marvin Gerard was the final 2 episodes for this season, I think that probably would have clued me in. I did want to say, and obviously there's no way for me to verify this and be like, I definitely didn't, but I didn't. Because I've learned, especially because there was the episode last season when Elizabeth was put on the blacklist and her name was the title of one of the episodes. I think I remember, I can't remember if I saw it like the previous season before or if I saw it like a couple episodes before, but I just remember seeing her name and I'm just like, oh crap, I need to stop looking ahead. Like, that could really spoil some stuff. So ever since that moment, whenever I saw her name a little too soon, I've really tried my best not to get too far ahead. In fact, even when I'm scrolling down, to get to the episodes, I've really made sure that I don't scroll too far and see the following episode. So I have kept my eyes away, and honestly, it makes it a lot more fun because I didn't even see Andrew Kinnison's name on the list of episodes, because if I had seen that, probably would have clued me in that he was also connected with whenever Cooper had to take him in and keep him hidden. So yeah, it's something that I wanted to go ahead and throw out there. Obviously, again, I can't verify this, and people might think I looked anyway. It's fine. I know for me that I managed to figure all this out without seeing that Marvin Gerard was coming down the line. So, but anyways, as far as this episode is concerned, it's a good setup for the finale. I feel like it's definitely going to be fun to see how all of this sort of wraps up. Seeing Reddington kind of devolve almost. Everything that's happening with Mercy. I think I finally got her name, which I almost kind of wonder if she's not going to be around for too much longer, because they've really kind of gone down this path that I kind of expected after what happened with Weecha, where she doesn't look at Reddington the same way anymore. And kind of understandable based on everything he's done and the people it's hurt in the process, and yet he still doesn't give up his chase. So, but yeah, he's really turning into this sort of reactionary, aggressive person now. And we've seen in the past that he can be very, like, sudden decisions and all of that stuff, like everything that happened with Dembe and then Mr. Kaplan as well. Those moments whenever he sort of jumped to conclusions, or he wasn't willing to look the other way whenever something happened. We see a lot of that. And even whenever he picked up Hetty, he originally thought she was the one involved. It wasn't until he saw Park's headache that he realized, wait, it's not her. But he was fully ready to kill her without even hardly looking into it. So, yeah, I find it very interesting. And so this whole scene at the end where Cooper essentially betrays him, I don't know how long this is going to carry on. Are we going to go into next season after whatever happens with Marvin Gerard here at the end? Are we going to go into next season where there's still that friction? He still doesn't want to work with Cooper anymore because of what he did here. I don't know. Because a lot of what he's going through right now, it's very visceral. It's a lot of emotional just trauma coming up, and it's very vitriol whenever he's talking to anybody else that is getting in his way. Even Dembe shows up to be there for him, and it first question, did you tell Cooper about this? So I don't know if this is setting up for a possible rift between him and the task force for next season. I feel like you've already lost that connection of Reddington and Elizabeth. That was kind of the main, I think, glue that held a lot of the show together. You've lost that, but you've done a pretty good job of still keeping that a main focus point for this, at least the 9th season. Where he is working with the team, he still has those connections that he's built over all these years. Obviously, Dembe is also on the team, but he has connections with Cooper. So that sort of mutual respect that's there, that's still been something, even whenever he sort of turned away from Dembe because he felt like he was responsible for Liz's death, there still was that connection with Cooper that kept him working with the team. But now it feels like Cooper has sort of gone against his wishes, and now it feels like they're at odds. Is that going to carry into next season? And if so, how do you continue on the Blacklist and everything Reddington's been doing with the task force if he's not going to be working with them? Is it going to turn into the task force is trying to track him down now? Because that just feels like it's not quite the name of the show. So I almost wonder if, however this next episode resolves itself, maybe there will be a little bit of initial mistrust at the beginning of next season, but they'll finally reach a point where we have to work together if we want to finish what we started. This whole Blacklist. I kind of feel like that's more likely going to be how this all comes, or at least how the next season starts, is them managing to put their differences aside, some of the frustrations they've dealt with in these past few episodes, the lack of trust, them going against Reddington's wishes, all of that. I feel like they're going to find a way to put it past them in this next episode, but we'll see how all that plays out. But yeah, all in all, pretty solid episode. I liked how they set it up with the team kind of on Reddington's heels, but Dembe giving them little clues that they could use to solve it and figure out how to stay on top of things. It's a nice setup because Dembe is helping them, but he's not. It's not like he's just outright telling them. He made a promise to Reddington he wouldn't tell them where they were going, but he gave them the clues they needed to find out where they were going. And even at the end, he's driving away, and Cooper's like, I guess we're too late. And he's like, are you too late? And that gives Cooper the idea to call the security and kind of keep Reddington from killing him there. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting setup, and we'll see how this season comes to a close, but I will see you there in just a second. And finally, episode 22, obviously part 2 of Marvin Gerard, the conclusion. It's a great finale. It really is, and while it does sort of wrap up maybe a little too neatly for kind of everything that we went through for most of this season, I think it's a good, solid resolution. It builds up for the final season pretty well. I think it's a great beginning of the end in that sense. But yeah, everything to do with Marvin, kind of getting to see how it all wrapped up with him and how he just kept trying to make this deal work. You kind of got the feeling that it wasn't going to go through, so when it did, and obviously we never saw the end of the conversation that Reddington was having with him, you kind of knew that Reddington had something in place, had made a deal with him or something. It is pretty shocking that he convinced him to basically take his own life however he saw fit. Now granted, he did give him the chance to set forth these plans, of course, to get Reddington killed by this assassin that he met in prison. So that is kind of a fun little, I guess, build up to the final season, and does make me wonder if we'll see some of the blacklisters that we saw in the past. I don't think we've seen this guy before that Marvin was talking to. I don't remember him, but maybe he was one of the blacklisters that they put away before. But who knows, maybe we'll see some of those blacklisters return from past seasons. We'll find out, they found out about Reddington selling them out, and now it's basically going to be about Red and the team stopping these people from tracking Reddington down and taking him out after everything he's set up. It's a pretty solid setup. I'm definitely excited, looking forward to it. It's not something that I felt from the past 2 seasons, and that is honestly a wonderful thing for me, because I was really worried after season 7 and 8 that the writers had kind of lost their touch. There wasn't going to be that same level of excitement that I'd come to expect from this show, that level of intrigue and curiosity that they made me feel. But they definitely did for this season, and it's a great feeling to have. As far as everything else with the team, some of it is just kind of, I don't know what they plan to do with it. I mean, Park being pregnant just kind of, I don't remember when she said it, but she said something about feeling nauseous with the headaches, and that's when I kind of had the thought of like, is she just going to turn out to be pregnant? Like, is that what this is all leading to? So I don't know what's going to happen there, but I guess good for her. Aram leaving the team, I don't think that'll be the full season. I'm assuming he'll probably come back at some point. I'm a little sad because I was really starting to like him being in charge because he stepped into that role pretty well. So the fact that he's taken a step away, maybe it's something that will, it's like he's stepping away for the off time until we come back for the final season. Maybe that's what he's talking about. But yeah, I really liked him being in charge, and I liked him giving the orders. Of course, now with Cooper back, it would beg the question of, is he going to step back into his role as leader of the task force? Who knows? But I think those are some of the questions I look forward to being answered next season. But building up to it, I don't really know what to expect. Again, I'm assuming a lot of it is going to be about this assassin that's going to be tracking Reddington down, trying to kill him. I think his name is Wu Jing. I'm excited to see that battle. I don't think that'll take the whole season because I'm assuming at least, I would say probably half of the season has to be dedicated to finally solving some of these mysteries about Raymond Reddington. Now, I don't know what that's going to lead to. I don't know if he's going to be arrested at the end of all of it, if he's going to die at the end of all of it. I don't really know. Because before it did feel like we had an end goal where he was trying to basically train Elizabeth to be ready to take over his empire. That kind of felt like the end goal for a lot of the, I would say like seasons 5 through 8 until she died. That's kind of what it felt like. It felt like he was taking her under his wing and training her in these ways. I can't remember if there was much of that in the first 4 seasons. I feel like the first 4 seasons were a lot of mysteries that she was trying to solve about him. But now I don't really know what it's leading to. What is his ultimate goal? What is the goal of the Blacklist now that she is dead? I'm not entirely sure, and I don't really have any theories. So there's a lot of unknown for me, and I really like that. Because again, when I'm looking back at this season, I was kind of on track with my thoughts and my theories. I kind of had a good sense about what was happening because I've got a lot of knowledge when it comes to how these types of shows are written and how they're run. I grew up watching Scooby Doo. You never suspect the most likely suspect. It's always somebody that's been involved but isn't the most likely. I don't know. It's one of those. The more you see it, the more you start to pick up on these little clues and hints that are being dropped. So I was really, I was on that whole, I guess, feeling about Marvin Gerard this season. And I really felt like everything that happened kind of kept building up these ideas and kept making me feel like I was correct. But going into the final season, I don't have any theories. I don't have any sort of sense of where this story is going to go. And I think that's a lot of fun. Because while it is fun to figure stuff out and feel the sense of accomplishment when you get something right or you figured something out early, there's also something fun about, I have no idea what's going to happen next. I have no idea what steps are going to be taken next. I have no ideas about who Reddington really is in all of this. I mean, just a few here and there, but there's still so many mysteries that I feel like this writing team has been building up for a long, long time. And I am very, very excited to see what this is all going to end with. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the final season. I guess to give final thoughts on the 9th season, though, it was a really good season. The overall feel of the Blacklisters for this season, I thought was a little bit weak. There were still a couple of good ones that I felt, but for the most part, the Blacklisters were pretty bland, pretty boring. The real focus was in on who is the one that got Elizabeth killed. That mystery, how the team was handling it, how Cooper was dealing with his thing that ended up being tied with that, how Reddington was looking into all this stuff. I really liked Weecha and Mirsay's addition as well to the show. I kind of hope that they come back next season. Obviously, Weecha, we know, is still kind of physically recovering, so maybe we'll start next season and she'll be fully well and able to work for Reddington again. Because I think she really does like him, and she does like working for him. Mirsa, though, I don't think she wants to be around him anymore. So I don't know if that's going to play into the end game somehow, like his love for her, maybe trying to pull him away of this life of crime and just find that simplicity that he had with her before. But I do wonder if we'll see Weecha some more, because she was a lot of fun to have on Reddington's team. Dembe, the task force, I'm assuming they're all still going to be working together. I kind of wondered at some point if maybe Dembe would start working for Reddington in the last season, but that was when I thought maybe the task force might have a small chance of being disbanded or maybe working on their own. But as it is, the task force is obviously still very much the same as it has always been. So I'm assuming Dembe will stay on. I'm assuming Cooper probably will take his role back, but I don't know. Maybe he had enough fun in the field. He's like, you know what? I don't like all of the day-to-day leading stuff. So Rom, you can keep all of that. I want to be an agent again. It's a lot of fun possibilities with that, but I do think ultimately he needs to stay in that chair, in the leader's chair, because it does keep him out of danger. It does keep him out of the firefights for the most part, which is really what he needs since he wants to be there for Agnes. So yeah, I really enjoyed the season though. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I'm back. I will see you guys next season. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Lets me know that you guys are enjoying this review series. And of course, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. As well as check out the channel. Obviously, I will be jumping into Season 10 after this, so look forward to that. And also check out the Let's Play videos I've been doing. But until next time, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.